I can't even defend this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. Songs of the Year series 2017. Cram looks like he's losing weight there. A little thinner than usual. So if you've not seen this series before, we each make two lists of 5 songs each. The first one is all songs that charted on the Billboard Hot 100 during the year 2017. The second list is stuff that didn't have to chart. One of our lists will be one song short. We save our winner for the very end. Before we reveal the winner, we also make a selection for our least favorite top 40 song of the year. So that's the game we're playing. 2017, I think the worst year we've seen yet on the Billboard charts. I think it's only going to continue to go downhill from here on out. But pretty good year on the wildcard side. How you guys feeling about it?
So bad on the billboards. I was dying. I did have a lot of wild cards, but yeah, I mean, we've said it before, but this might be the worst Billboard year ever. And there were so many songs that I've heard before and I didn't know who were they by. And then I would go through and I'd be like, okay, what's this song? And I'd be, oh God, it's that song. And it just kept getting worse and worse.
I can't even defend this Billboard year. It was rough. I gave up at the end and just phoned it in. So oof.
I'll kick it off with the Hot 100. Take these picks with a grain of salt. These are songs that I don't think suck, but I don't necessarily love these songs. The first pick for me is going to be Green Light by Lorde, which is a song that I think is overrated. It does that thing that I don't really like where the verse is kind of one thing and then it kind of spins around and totally changes into something different when that piano comes in and then you get the floor on the floor kick beat. But that said, I do like Lorde. I think she's a good artist and I think the chorus is pretty strong. So in a year like this, that's all it takes. Then I've got Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. Portugal the Man's an okay band. They've been around a while. I had been listening to them for a long time at this point. I mean, this song's a heck of an earworm. It's really, really catchy, and I guess good for them for getting a crossover hit. Wouldn't call it a great song, but it's fine. It's catchy, enjoyable. Then I got Drinkin' Problem by Midland, which is a country band. Not my favorite kind of country. This is more of a 90s country throwback, but it's still a decent song, kind of cool, talking about how, I don't know, his drinking problem isn't really a problem, and he's sick of everyone telling him that it is. Then I'm going with Hard Times by Paramore. Paramore give themselves an 80s pop makeover. I think they make some of the best music of their career on this record. I think it's really catchy, well-produced, so pretty good pop song. And then my last one is going to be Sign of the Times by Harry Styles, which I think is a pretty good blend of classic influence and modern writing and production. Kind of got a big lighters in the air kind of chorus. The slide guitar that leads into the chorus is kind of like a little nod to Rocket Man, which is kind of cool. I don't think Harry's the most captivating front person or, doesn't have the most character as a vocalist, but I think he has put together a pretty good blend of classic influences and more modern sounds. So, I think he's all right. Pretty good song. Sign of the Times.
All right, I guess I'll go next. Yeah, that Lorde song would have been good, but I don't have it on mine. What I do have is New Rules by Dua Lipa. None of these songs I think are great, so I'm just going to try to defend why they made my list. It's got a really catchy song, chorus. It's pretty sexy, full of feminine power. I love the dance beat and the club part, and she's just listing off these reasons and not to be with this dude. I've also got from Post Malone Rockstar. It's kind of, I don't really like Post Malone that much, but I got Moody. It's kind of moody, shadowy, dark hip hop beat. And he's doing that, casual hookup culture kind of rap. Really low key, I don't give a fuck. And I'm so cool, cooler than cool. A song about being a rock star, banging hoes and popping pills like a rock star, whatever. And I've got Bruno Mars with That's What I Like. A little bit old school. Bruno's okay. I kind of like the old school sexy sway, modern romance, R&B, throwback kind of 90s stuff with silk sheets and strawberry champagne on ice, stuff like that. I've got Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. Good energy, pretty bouncy. The falsetto sounds good. Not a ton of feeling, none of these do. Almost has some cool CeeLo Green type touches with the horns and everything. And then I'm going to go with DNA from Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar a good bit. None of this is as good as stuff off To Pimp a Butterfly, in my opinion, but it's got good hip hop. He's really rapping like rapid fire stuff, which I think is really impressive. And he's always a good lyricist. I'll give him that. Not as good as anything on Pimp, I'll say that. But like, it's kind of about his like internal struggle to like see his version of good and evil out in the world. So it has its moments, but this is a very weak top 5 for the billboards for me. Just saying.
You forget your girl. I hope it better be on your. You just forgot, didn't you? It's all right. It's all right.
Lust for Life is like one of my least favorites.
It doesn't matter. Right. My number 5, I'm gonna do That's What I Like, Bruno Mars. I like this song. It's fine. Number 4, I'm gonna go Green Light from Lorde. Surprised that Kate Bush hasn't sued Jack Antonoff for this, because it's literally just Love and Anger and Top of the City kind of combined into one complete Kate Bush ripoff. But it's a good song because it's a Kate Bush ripoff. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Love from Lana Del Rey. It's a fun shot at all the hipsters. I like her self-awareness. Her voice is mellifluous. It's fantastic, and the instrumentation is nice and vintage here. Very good song from the underrated Lust for Life. Number 2, Skywalker from Miguel. Travis Scott does his best to ruin this song, but he doesn't, because Miguel's a great artist and his voice carries it through. Cool fusion of rap and R&B and all the stuff that Miguel dabbles in. Not quite. He doesn't really fit into any one category, which is, I think, why I like him so much. Number 1 is going to be Hard Times by Paramore. Like Jason said, they just do an 80s thing like everybody else was doing at this time, but it works. Probably my favorite album from them. And I really like the vocoder outro. It's very fun song.
All right, my wild cards. First one's going to be Slip Away by Perfume Genius. Really good song. Love Michael Hedrius's voice. Really cool, unique. Got this really intimate feel to the vocals, but Blake Mills produces, and he just comes in and turns it into like this Technicolor explosion, takes that very intimate sound of his vocals and just blows it up to a grand scale. Really cool, very percussive song. Like it a lot. Then I've got Candy May by Alex Cameron. From one of my favorite producers to another. This one's done by Jonathan Rado. Cameron's writing on this album is so smart. It's so sharp. It's so funny. He's taking on all like these loser scumbag characters and singing from their perspective. And the smooth 80s synth pop sound is like the perfect contrast to all of that. And you get the really cool sax lines from Roy Malloy. It's just all perfect. Love it. Then I've got Roya by Daniel Romano from my album of the year. This is kind of where he completed his shift from doing classic country stuff to doing something a little closer to like late 60s, early 70s Dylan and the band. Recorded it in a secluded cabin in Sweden, kind of turned that into his version of Woodstock. It's got a great melody, just kind of a timeless tune. It's one of those songs that sounds like it's been around forever, even though it just came out in 2017. And then the last one before my winner is going to be Hotel Amarillo by Caroline Spence. I think she's a great songwriter. I think it's a really good song about the loneliness of life on the road and the struggle of trying to make it as an artist. Her voice is excellent. The guitar work on the song is killer. It's probably my favorite lead guitar work of the whole year, played by Chris Donegan. So there you go. Those are 4, and I'll save the winner for the end.
Okay. I have We Don't Deserve Love by Arcade Fire. Really weird, kind of like new, modern, digital, like Western kind of feel here, but it has just got like one of the catchiest, prettiest choruses they've ever done. And just really cool lyrics like don't want to touch, don't want to talk, don't even want to watch TV. Kind of their similar themes I always sing about, but it's done really well. Just missing, by the way, it was Black and Blues by Jesus and Mary Chain. I also have Candy May by Alex Cameron, a really funny, dopey kind of song where, yeah, he's taking on these like loser, down to the dump kind of characters, but doing it really smart with like kind of like that Elvis Costello kind of wit and that early sleek synth pop, power pop kind of sound. And I love his line we've talked about before where he's like, she knows I'm packing heat or whatever. It's just so funny because he sounds like he has like major low dick energy on the song. It's hilarious. Low dick, small dick. Hello. Wise Blood by Zola Jesus for my album of the year is my number 3 I'm talking about here. Really dark, grand, cinematic, ominous piece where her voice is just like really immersive. It just takes over like the whole sound of the song with everything kind of going on and like this dark thunderstorm behind her. And yeah, it's just got a really cool message. And then finally, I've got Oh Baby from LCD Sound System, which is just a really cool song that kind of sounds like it's from like 06, 07, 08. It's got just kind of like minimalist kind of like synth stuff going on, and it's got a really cool drum part to it, really cool simple sparse keyboards that kind of build and build and build on it, and it's just kind of this sweet little song. Like, it just says like, oh baby, you're having a bad dream and all of this stuff, and it's just got a really cool atmosphere to it. And I'm gonna save my wild card winner.
Right. I haven't heard any of those songs, I don't think. Be expected at this point. My number 5, I'm going to do Dear Life from Beck. I think it's just a really nice, simple power pop song. It's got that cool syncopated piano, slinky little guitar. Just a fun pop song from Beck there. Number 4, Cut to the Feeling. My girl, Carly Rae Jepsen. You don't know. Just really good, feel good dance pop from the queen of my dreams. And Good Feelings, Carly Rae Jepsen. So bright, upbeat, that build in the chorus. Pure magic. And something a little darker now. I'm going to go Less Than from 9 Inch Nails. Kind of in that same, vein that he's been mining for years now, especially ever since Social Network soundtrack came out. Got that like percolating synths and that like really brutally hard industrial rock underneath, and I just love the way it kind of works together. It's dark and foreboding, but it's also pretty darn catchy. Very atmospheric, great chorus, love it. Number 2, I'm gonna do Jaguar God from Mastodon. It's a massive epic from Emperor of Sand. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's progressive, it's prolific, and maybe my favorite guitar from them ever on that track.
All right. Worst of the year. Easy pick for me this year. As bad as it all was. I've got Thunder by Imagine Dragons. This is one of the worst bands of all time hitting rock bottom. This is like when you have a band that has nothing but shitty ideas and then they run out of shitty ideas and they have no ideas at all. It's one of the most annoying tracks ever conceived. I can't believe it was a hit. I think it's just proof of how mindless most people are, just lapping up whatever is put in front of them. It's total garbage. It almost seems like intentionally, like, let's see how bad we can make a song and still have a hit. It's really, really horrible. It's horrific.
Well, you're not wrong. It's pretty bad. I am not picking that, though. This year gets an award for most like nominees for worst songs of the year. It is pretty hard to wrap it up, but I'm going with Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. I hate Ed Sheeran. I hate this song. It's so lame and wannabe. Pay attention to me, girls. It's like a mix of bad baby lullabies and nursery rhymes mixed with like John Mayer, like bravado, and just that overly boyish singing and everything's just so sweet to the touch. There's no edge to it at all. It's just like the simplest song structure ever. I hate it so much. I hate everything about Ed Sheeran so much. Shape of You by far is the worst.
I have to agree. Shape of You, Ed Sheeran. I mean, have you heard it? Like, it's just so friggin' dumb. It's so lame. He's such, like, how is he a ladies' man? Like, I really want to know how he thinks he can pull this off. And I guess he does. I guess he pulls it off. power to him, but I mean, it's not because of his lyrics. It's not because of his music. It's just because he's rich, I guess. I really hate when he goes, "Take my hand, stop, put Van the Man on the jukebox." Like, the hell kind of, that's one of the lamest lines I've ever heard in my entire life. I hate him. I'm just like Cramps. I hate Ed Sheeran. Sucks.
I also hate him. Did you guys see
He physically causes me pain.
Did you guys see the Jeopardy thing that happened?
No.
The category was like one name rock stars or something like that. And they put up a picture of Beck, and they were like, this artist won the album of the year in 2014, and the guy guessed Ed Sheeran. And then it cuts back. It cuts back to what's his name, Ken Jennings, and he's like, "No, remember the categories one name celebrities. That's Beck, but he is Ed Sheeran like." Oof.
What?
Probably the cruelest thing that's ever been said.
Ken Jennings no longer qualified to lead Jeopardy. Ugh.
All right, songs of the year. Mine is going to be Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers. Now, I am not probably as high on Phoebe Bridgers as most people. I do really enjoy both of her records. I think they're both good, but neither of them competed for Album of the Year for me in their respective release years. But this song is just so good. I'm a sucker for sad songs. This is maybe one of the saddest I've ever heard. It's just crushing. I think you feel every word that she sings. You believe everything she's saying. It's about a young person coming to the realization that life can be really sad. And then there's also on top of that, like the melodrama of being in high school and the feeling that things are never going to be okay again. I think it's incredible storytelling. I don't know if this is like a real life account of something that happened. Like she actually knew someone that died in high school and she was singing at their funeral. But the way she wrote the song, I think, was so smart to put it in the present tense. The way it opens with "I'm singing at a funeral tomorrow" instead of "this happened to me in the past," I think it just makes the emotion of it feel all the more powerful. When she says, "Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time," it's just like a knife to the gut. I think it's incredible. You got to like sad songs. A lot of people are going to say this is boring and they're not going to pick it because of that, but it is just really powerful. And I think it's great.
Good selection. I do like Phoebe Bridgers quite a lot. There's a lot of videos of me on this channel wearing her shirt, and that was a good pick. But I am going with what I believe is the quintessential song by this band. It is "Holding On" by War on Drugs, From a Deeper Understanding. It, like, from the get-go, is it exactly what you expect from War on Drugs. It's got like that like loopy kind of synth background that just puts you in like a mindset, and then it like everything kind of builds. It's got this absolutely beautiful like big guitar lick to it, and then there's like really good guitar underneath. The bass and everything just has that downhill like Corvette cruising kind of driving downhill beat to it, and it's just really infectious. And everything kind of just rises and lifts like a really like roller coaster that's not too dangerous, which is what you love. Everything's so casual about them, but still really bombastic and big. And it's got like these lyrics of remembrance and everything. And it's just incredibly beautiful, filled with big guitar hooks. It sounds like the blueprint for their most recent album from last year. It just sounds absolutely beautiful. All of the little just parts that are put in there to just fill it up like a balloon about to burst. Like it's the kind of song where it's like if they do one more thing here, it's going to be too much and it's going to be overkill. But they get that balloon to just almost burst with like production and parts and things and hooks and little guitar licks that just get stuck in your head. It's just so awesome. Sounds awesome. It's really rich. That's got to be it. Holding On, War on Drugs.
All right, we got ourselves a big old title fight between these three artists. I think this could go down to the wire. I gotta go with my girls and boy in Always. I got Dreams Tonight is my big winner for this year. And I just love this band. I love Molly Rankin's voice. I love the atmosphere. Just so dreamy, so atmospheric, for lack of a better word. I love the lyrics in this one. I think they're low-key, pretty genius. The counting motorbikes on the turnpike, one of Eisenhower's. The bridge, I think, is one of the best bridges ever constructed, where it rises and the lyrics are great. Your face was supposed to be hanging over me like a rosary, I think is really fantastic imagery. And I mean, I just love this band. So this is the best song from my album of the year, Anti-Socialites, and probably my favorite from them. So it's an easy winner, not a contest.
That's a good triple threat match there. Saw always
Indie rock wet dream right there. Woo.
All right. So let us know what you think of our lists, what your favorite songs of the year are. You can drop all that down in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so. And before you take off to some other video, make sure you hit the link in the video description. You can go vote on our website for which of our songs of the year is your favorite. We are in a little competition. I think Cram ended up with the win easily last week.
Yes, Crams are dominated, getting 52% of the vote with full stop. And the Sound and Mercy, me and Jason's picks were not even close. Combined, they still would have lost. So you mentioned Radiohead, you get a win. It's pretty much how it goes on this channel.
So we're coming down to the wire here. How far apart are we, Joe? 2.5 or something like that?
2.5. I have 25. You have 22.5. Cramser's now at 18.5. He's made a game of it. He's technically eliminated. His magic number is up, but I think if Jason sweeps the rest of the series, he'll win. So
well, there's 5 votes left. So
no, because 21's already done.
All right. Yeah. 4 votes left.
So you need 3 of the next 4.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be tough.
I need all of them, because if he wins one, well, I need unless you win the other one. If he wins one, then
yeah. My magic number 1.
Oof, I love it.
All right, so there's a lot on the line. Head over there, vote, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.